Hi, this is Russell Robinson. I'm the CEO of the Jewish National Fund, and welcome to my Google Hangout. I'm sorry for being a little bit late. We're not necessarily the startup nation here in this office. You know, our technology sometimes is a little bit waning, but we're there now. And I have two wonderful guests today on our Google Hangout. I got Sydney Harlow and Julia Leibstein, who are part of our ASB. And so I want to start first with Sydney. Tell me, where are you from?
I was born and raised in Chicago, and then we moved to Miami when I was 12, but now I live in Fort Myers because I go to Florida Gulf Coast University.
So you went on ASB before. What is ASB?
ASB stands for Alternative Spring Break. It is the most amazing way to go back to Israel. How do I explain it? It's incredible. It's truly giving back to the Jewish community and to the Jewish people, and to get to see, like, you raise money for it, and to get to see where your money goes is just absolutely incredible.
So, Julia, where are you from?
I'm from Norfolk, Virginia, and am studying at Indiana University, Bloomington currently.
And you are you also decided to go on alternative spring break. Why?
As a JNF campus fellow, one of my responsibilities is to recruit for the trip, and as recruiting for the trip, I'd love to be a participant in the trip. And hearing from people who have been on the trip, it just sounds like a really incredible experience to be able to fundraise, but not only to fundraise, but to do something with that money and put into action of helping the Jewish people.
So both of you have been to Israel before. Sydney, when was your first trip?
It was Birthright in the winter of 2012.
And that was the first time you went to Israel?
Yep.
And so it was, what kind of experience?
Oh my gosh. Well, immediately when you get off the plane on Birthright, it's like such a cool feeling. It's like, oh my gosh, you're in Israel. And for me, I don't know why, but something in my head, like, I went to Hebrew school for 16 years, like, something in my head just clicked. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in Israel, this is home, this is where I belong. Like, something just felt so right.
And Julia, what was your first trip?
My first trip to Israel was in the spring of 2012 for 2 months with Alexander Muss High School in Israel.
And so when you went to Muss High School, you were going to a public school or to a day school?
To a public school, so I went with a group of kids from all over the country.
So how did you choose to take a semester abroad in Israel during your high school years?
Why not? Through many summers at camp, different campers and staff members who have been on Muss came and talked to us, and I always had the interest. And junior year rolled around, and I just thought that it would be the most incredible experience, and I couldn't have been more right.
So just spring break. Sorry, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say that it was so cool from my first time going there, that we were learning about the history of the Jewish people while traveling around to all these places. So it just really, really made Israel home. Well,
I'm going to make you pitch pitch Alexander Muss High School by the end of this broadcast. I just want to tell people who are watching, this is a special program that we started here at Jewish National Fund. We are a very large provider together with Shorashim for Birthright. And for those of you who want to go on Birthright, you should go on our site, and when Birthright registration's open, go on and sign up for JNF Shorashim Birthright. What we do on our trips is that instead of just the Israelis being with us for 5 days of a Birthright trip, we have Israelis with us for 10 full days to really give the full flavor of Israel and the people of Israel. But what we found is that when people went to Israel, and you know, it's people like Sydney who talk about her first trip on Birthright. You know, it's that appetizer. You're not sure, Sydney, I'm sure, what you were going to expect. You had gone to day school. You know, you're Jewish. You love it. But you went there and you said, wow, it exploded in my head. So you want to go back. But most people who go on Birthright, they won't go back to Israel until they're about 40 years of age. Very small groups go back. And so at Jewish National Fund, some 7 years ago, we came up with the concept of alternative spring break. An opportunity for you to go back to Israel, those who have been before. And you raise money online, and you go to jnf.org/ASB, And that money, and you could tell some of the stories, Sydney, from your last trip on Alternative Spring Break. What project did you work on?
Oh gosh, we worked on Earth's Promise. We what else?
So Earth's Promise is working with neighborhood Ethiopian neighborhood communities in Beersheba, where you're helping them become urban farmers and sustaining a dietary opportunity for them and a living opportunity for them. Correct?
Yes.
And what did you do? You really worked hard there. You had to like turn a parking lot into a living garden.
Yeah. Pretty much it was completely. They had like a walkway, a little walkway into like the garden, and then they're like, "Here's a whole bunch of trees. Go plant them." And we did. We weeded gardens a little bit. They have like a classic Ethiopian hut there, and they.
I don't know, Sydney. I just lost you. Well, do I still have you there, Julia?
Yes.
Oh, there, Sydney. Now you're back.
Okay.
I think your excitement caused the internet to freeze.
It might have. I'm so excited to go back. I have like a countdown on my phone and everything. But
how are you going to get people to go with you? What are you going to say to people right now? You have all these people. I want you to take this and pass it out on your digital media. You know, Facebook, Twitter, all of that Instagram. And so you have now. Give me that 15, 20-second commercial, each of you. Why do you want people to go Alternative Spring Break with Jewish National Fund? Why don't you go first, Julia?
I want people to go on Jewish National Fund's Alternative Spring Break because people who have been on Birthright and other Israel trips have seen the land. But going once is just never enough for me, and I feel like anyone else, and why not go back, fundraise, and give something back to this land that has given us so much.
Great, thank you. And Sydney?
People should go on JNF's Alternative Spring Break because, like Julia said, it's such an amazing way to give back, and it's such a cool way to experience Israel, and it's something you don't see on Birthright, and you won't see any other way. With the JNF Alternative Spring Break, you really get to dive down deep into like what's really going on in the area, and you get to actually like help out, and you raise the money, and you actually are the one who implements what that money is doing. So that's really cool.
And you should know that, by the way, we also have an Alternative Spring Break available for young professionals as well that's filling up very quickly. So those who are out of college and want to go back and experience that in Israel and do social conscious and awareness program and really be involved in raising money and then utilizing that money for the projects that you're going to Israel, so you get to see how that money works, how the impact of your philanthropic investment works, and you're part of this tzedakah, the responsibility of the Jewish people. And so I'm going to ask you, Julia, you went to Alexander Muss High School. You're going to a private school. What did it do for you? I'm going to do a little Alexander Muss High School commercial here. To getting into college and to being in college, what was that preparatory opportunity for you and Muss, beyond seeing the land and living the land and the history and enjoying it? Did it make a difference for your college entrance?
Sorry, I realize I automatically pitch Muss anytime I talk about it, so there's evidence of how much I love it. But yeah, it really did prepare me for school and senses other than traveling through Israel, but learning to live independently and manage time efficiently and doing work while also hanging out with friends and living in an incredible place. I would say that it really helped with my time management skills.
Terrific. So both of you, I have to tell you that for anybody watching today and for the people who meet you and get to know you, anybody that questions the future of the Jewish people, they should just meet the unbelievable, energetic people like you. And, we got Giving Tuesday coming up, and I want to tell all of you, it's Giving Tuesday was started as a real international, but kind of a movement that said, if you have this Black Friday, for that in between Thanksgiving and the holidays, where everybody's going out and shopping, why not have a Giving Tuesday, a time when people could stand up and say, you know what, this is a time for giving. And so Giving Tuesday is coming up. JNF is a major participant in it. It's important for you to come onto our Facebook post on, get people contribute. If it's $10, $100, $1,000, $1 million, be part of Giving Tuesday and be part of the Giving Tuesday. At Jewish National Fund, we're part of our $1 billion campaign that you can meet these two people and talk to them and see how the impact of every single dollar that we do has made a difference in the land and the people of Israel, but also in the future. Because when we invest in people like Julia and Sydney, we're investing in really our history and our future. And I have to tell you, Sydney and Julia, thank you very much. I know that between studies and school, to be able to raise your hand and say, count on me in recruiting people, I will tell you that in a world that is a little confusing today, with all the negativity that's going on, you two represent the best of the human race. And so I thank you very much and for being part of my CEO Google Hangout here at Jewish National Fund. And I look forward to being on ASB with you because it sounds like a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you all very much, and we'll see you on the next Google Hangout.